Hi friends, welcome to Pavan Visual Media and Info Services. As a part of series of lectures on finite element method, today I am going to discuss about stress-strain relationship matrix. For this derivation part, I already covered a part of it in the lecture 2 and lecture 3. That is, in the lecture 2, what are the different types of loads, what are the stresses that are going to induce it inside of the element. So with that, I concluded there are 6 types of stresses, 3 normal stresses, 3 shear stresses. Normal stresses are sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, and shear stresses are tau xy, tau yz, tau zx. These are the normal and shear stresses. In the lecture 3, I given a relation, so strain displacement relations. So in that I derived what is the strain in the linear directions. The linear strain in the x direction is epsilon x, linear strain in the y direction is epsilon y, linear direction in the z direction is equal to epsilon z. Shear strains are gamma yz, gamma xy, gamma yz, gamma zx respectively. With that basis, I am going to discuss about strain relationship matrix. So, from the previous discussions, I am going to consider 6 stresses, that is 3 linear stresses, sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, and 3 shear stresses, that is tau xy, tau yz, tau zx. So these are 6 components of stresses. These are the linear stresses, these are the shear stresses in the xy plane, yz plane, zx plane, which is equal to some, what I am going to derive here, the relationship. So that is, so epsilon x is a strain in the x direction, linear strain, epsilon y strain in the y direction, epsilon z strain in the z direction. These are the linear stresses corresponding linear strains. And the tau xy, that is a gamma xy. Gamma xy is the shear strain, gamma yz and gamma zx. So with a relationship matrix, I am going to derive this matrix D. Now this is the matrix that I am going to discuss about in this session. So the strain displacement relationship matrix is a Mittal property matrix. It depends on Poisson's ratio and Young's modulus, and it will give the relationship between the stresses in the linear stress and the linear strain, how it is related with this one, linear strains and shear strains. So now let us start with the strain. What is the strain? What is the stress? Stress is nothing but, sigma is nothing but whatever the direction. So Young's modulus into strain. Strain may be in any direction. This is for one dimensional. So the same thing I am going to provide for the 3 dimensions. This relationship I am going to extend for x direction, y direction, z direction with the corresponding epsilon x, epsilon y, epsilon z in the shear strain in the corresponding strains in the directions of x, y, z, and assuming that the material property is same, Young's modulus is same in the all the directions. So strain in the Young's modulus in the x direction, Young's modulus in the y direction, Young's modulus in z direction are same. That is, the material is isotropic and homogeneous material. So that's why E is common. Similarly, shear strains, that is a linear, this one, shear strains or shear stress. So that is tau is related with the modulus of rigidity into or shear modulus into corresponding shear strain. This is for one dimensional case, as a 2-dimensional case. So this is the relationship actually. Shear strain, shear stress equal to tau. So that is a G into gamma. G is the shear modulus and gamma is the strain in the shear plane. So this is the material property, assuming that this G is common in the all the directions. So now I am going to derive because if you consider, so this is the element. These are the suppose if you consider this is the x, y and z directions. So strain in the x direction is epsilon x and y direction is epsilon y and z direction is epsilon z, and corresponding stresses in the x, y and z, and these are the strains on the xy plane, yz plane, zx plane. Now we have a strain in the, if it is a strain in the x direction, so there may be strains, the strain in the x direction may also resultant because of the strain in the other direction. Strain in the x direction, there may be reduction in the dimensions of the object in the y and z directions. We have a material property known as Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio I am taking as mu. What is a Poisson's ratio? It is a ratio of lateral strain by linear strain. Okay, so with that, suppose if it is a strain is happened in the x direction, and it may affect a strain in the y direction, so that is negative direction, so that may be mu into epsilon x, and similarly it is also affected in the z direction, that is equal to mu into epsilon x. So if the strain happened in the x direction, there may be reduction in the y direction, there may be reduction in the dimensions in the z directions. So it is elongated means in the x direction there is a positive elongation, means in the y direction there will be reduction in the thickness, there may be reduction in the width. So strains in the y direction, strains in the z direction also possible. So that is in the negative direction. If it is elongated, it will be reduced. So this effect also we have to consider. The strain in the x direction, I am going to derive this one. I am going to write strain in the x direction equal to total strain in the x direction. That is, a strain in the x direction is given by epsilon x by E. Young's modulus will give this one. This is because it is also happened because of the strains in the other directions. So this may be right, you can write. So mu into stress in the y direction by Young's modulus, that is this one I am writing. So if you multiply this one, this effect can be neglected. So mu into sigma z by E. These are the normal strains. So neglecting the strains because of y direction, because of z directions, if you want to get a pure linear strain, because y direction also there will be a strain, x direction also there will be a strain, that may be affected. So pure linear strain if you want to get means total strain means effect of the strain because of other directions. So that we can neglect it, and then we can able to get the strain in the x direction. So pure normal strain in the x direction. So this is the, suppose say, equation 1. And similarly strain in the y direction is given by sigma y by E minus mu into sigma x by E minus mu into sigma z by E. This is the equation 2. So epsilon z equal to strain in z direction epsilon z by E minus mu into epsilon x by E minus mu into epsilon y by E. This is the equation number 3. This I can rewrite like this. So epsilon x by E minus mu into sigma y plus sigma z into 1 by E. Similarly this equation I can write. So epsilon y by sigma y by E minus mu by E into epsilon sigma x plus sigma z. So similarly this equation I can modify epsilon z by E minus mu by E into sigma x plus sigma y. This is the equation 1, 2, 3. We shall give the relation. What is epsilon x? Normal strain. Pure normal strain in the x direction, pure normal strain in the y direction, pure normal strain in the z direction. Now, what is the shear? Shear means, because of shear strain, tau xy equal to g into gamma xy. So we have a relationship between the modulus of rigidity, that is a shear modulus G is related with Young's modulus 1 by 2 into 1 plus mu. This derivation we had in the mechanics of solids. You can just go through it. This part also available in the mechanics of solids. We are just deriving for deriving this stress-strain relationship matrix in the finite element point of view. So from this you can simply substitute in these equations. So then you can get a tau xy, or you can directly write gamma xy equal to 2 into 1 plus mu by E into tau xy. Is the equation number 4, suppose say, and similarly gamma yz, it can be written as 2 into 1 plus mu by E into gamma tau yz. This is the equation number 5, and similarly equation number 6. So that is Zx, gamma Zx equal to 2 into 1 plus mu by E into tau Zx. This is equation number 6. So this is equation number 1, which is epsilon x equal to, this is the epsilon y equal to, this is the epsilon z equal to. This is the equation 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4 and 5, and this is the 6. So now what I am doing is I am going to equate out of these three relations what is sigma x, what is sigma y, what is sigma z. The derivation part I am going to continue here after erasing this one, because the lengthy derivation this one. So adding equations 1, 2, 3, that is epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z is equal to sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z by E minus 2 mu by E into sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z. You will get. So which is again simplified, 1 minus 2 mu by E equal to into sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z. So sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z is equal to E by 1 minus 2 mu into epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z. Now I want to get sigma x, which is equal to E by 1 minus 2 mu into epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z minus sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z. Now I am going to rewrite this equation by eliminating sigma y and sigma z in terms of epsilon x and epsilon y and epsilon z. For doing this, I am considering the equation 1. What is the equation 1? From equation 1, so equation 1 equal to epsilon x equal to sigma x by e minus mu into mu by e into sigma y plus sigma z. This is the equation. Now in order to replace this one, I am taking this one and substituting this one in this equation. So this is the negative of this one. Now I am taking this one and substituting here and rewriting the equation, that is sigma x equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu into epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z minus of this one plus sigma Young's modulus into epsilon x by mu minus sigma mu or sigma x by mu you will get. Now taking this one this side, that is sigma x into 1 plus 1 by mu equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu into sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z plus e into epsilon x by mu. Now simplification, this one, then sigma x equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu 1 plus mu to 1 minus mu into epsilon x plus mu into epsilon y plus epsilon z. This is the equation 1. That may be equation 9. Now I am with a similar procedure. If you want to calculate sigma y, I can rewrite this one like this. So you can apply the same procedure and you can rewrite the equations sigma y equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu into 1 minus mu into epsilon y plus mu into epsilon x plus epsilon z. This is equation number 10. Similarly, you can also write sigma z equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu into 1 minus mu into sigma z plus epsilon z into mu into epsilon x plus epsilon y. This is the equation number 11. So these are the equations that we derived for direct stresses, that is a stress in the x direction, stress in the y direction, stress in the z direction, normal stress in the z direction with in terms of epsilon x, epsilon y, epsilon z. Now I am rewriting the similar way, just modifying the shear stress and shear strains relations. So tau xy and tau yz and tau zx E by 2 into 1 plus mu into gamma xy, shear strain. So E by 2 into 1 plus mu into gamma yz. E by 2 into 1 plus mu equal to gamma zx. So this is the say equation 12, 13 and equation 14. So the numbering, because it is arranged, I am continuing this one 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 like that. Because in the derivation I forgot about what is the equation numbers. So that's why I think it is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I numbered like this. So now I am rewriting these equations in terms of matrix form in order to get stresses and strains and the relationship matrix. So I am considering the equation 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 into considerations. From equations number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14, writing in the matrix form. So like this: sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, tau xy, tau yz, tau zx. So which is equal to some matrix. Strains are in the other side: sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, gamma xy, gamma yz, gamma zx. Now I am going to get a 6 by 6 matrix of the equation for the from the above equations. E by 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu E by 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu, and this is 1 minus mu, mu and mu 0 0 0, and this is the mu 1 minus mu and mu 0 0 0, mu 1 minus mu and 0 0 0, and this is 0 0 0, 1 minus 2 mu by 2, 0 0 0 0 0, 1 minus 0, 1 minus 2 mu by 2, 0 0 0 0 0 0, 1 minus 2 mu by 2. Like this, or you can rewrite this. This is the sigma stress vector, and this is the D matrix, and this is the strain matrix. Now this is the interrelationship matrix. Here, instead of putting 1 minus 2 mu by 2, here also you can write 0.5 minus mu like this. This is also rewrite like this. So 0.5 minus mu, 0.5 minus mu, 0.5 minus mu. This is also the correct, because just I simplified this one. So now this is the relationship matrix D. So this is all about the strain displacement relationship matrix for the three-dimensional analysis. This is the very this derivation part is very important at the examination point of view. So just go through it with a this only comes with a little bit of practice, and say it is a very important in the examination point of view. So this all today's lecture. If you like this video, please share to your friends and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any requirements about this one, please mail to me. My mail ID is dpk08626@gmail.com, and comment your opinion on these videos, on series of lectures on finite element method. Thank you.